It is an honor and a privilege to be here today. I feel like a conductor about to lead a symphony of thought in our Presbyterian family, and we are vital instruments in this harmonious composition of wisdom and wonder. I stand before you with an electrifying thought. You are not just teachers. You are the architects of dreams, the sowers of knowledge, and the guardians of futures. As I see so many familiar faces, I am reminded of the profound impact you make in shaping young minds. And I am just here to share in your mission to inspire, enlighten, and ignite the sparks of brilliance that lie within every child. Our Presbyterian schools must conjure an unforgettable journey of transformation, innovation, and boundless potential. My entire family started at Presbyterian primary schools. Many of you would know my father as a reverend. What you may not know was that he started at Riversdale Presbyterian School, and then in those days, in the 1950s, as a pupil teacher. My mother at St. Helena Presbyterian Primary School. My brother Jerome started at Siparia Union Press. My sister and I at Chandanago Presbyterian School. Some of you all will just hear about the names of these places when you read the TP. I want to begin, though, by asking a thought-provoking question. What do you think is the most precious resource in any school? The answer is clarity. This year's theme resonates profoundly with our mission as educators. Every mind matters. It means that we recognize and appreciate the uniqueness of every child and adult in our school. Just as every finger in our hand is different, just so every mind is beautiful and different. And that's a wonderful thing. Let us explore how this simple yet profound idea is the cornerstone of building a better future. We'll delve into the intertwined worlds of mental and physical health, recognizing that both are essential to nurturing not only brilliant minds, but happy and fulfilled individuals. And that's the goal. Because you are not just teachers, you are mentors, guides, and role models to young and impressionable minds. Think about the impact of your influence. As Maya Angelou said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Mental health is not just the absence of mental illness. It's a state of mental well-being in which every person realizes his or her own potential and can actually cope with the stresses of life, work productively, and make a meaningful contribution to their community. Now, historically, mental health has carried a heavy stigma. It remains shrouded in mystery. Perhaps even in the world of medicine, it's a bit of a bastard child. But times are changing. It's time to become torchbearers of open conversations. This is how we bring things to the front burner. And it's our duty to replace judgment with understanding and support, creating an environment where every student feels safe to express their feelings and concerns. And if there is one thing to remember from this convention, is that we must remove the stigma that is attached to mental health. None of us here would be wise enough, or old enough, I should say, to remember Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, because that was from the 1970s. A lot of us would not have been born then. But Fred Rogers of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood reminded us that anything that is human is mentionable, and anything that is mentionable can be manageable. And when we talk about our feelings, they become less overwhelming, less upsetting, and less scary. Depression, anxiety, and stress are more common among our students and our colleagues than we believe. There are many persons here who may be battling with these silent pandemics of depression, anxiety, and stress. And recognizing the signs and symptoms would be the first step in providing timely support. Are you having problems sleeping? Is there a reduced appetite? Have you lost your zeal and passion to go to work? Are you having problems with concentration and memory? Are you having brain fog? You can see us afterwards. Your self-esteem is in your boots. You're having feelings of hopelessness, helplessness, and worthlessness. These dark thoughts flood our minds, and sometimes, unfortunately, even suicidal thoughts. And recognizing these signs and symptoms would be the first part towards healing. Now, mental health is influenced by genetics and environment. And the interplay between our genes and life experiences shapes our mental well-being. Additionally, we know that social and there are many mental and emotional factors that play pivotal roles when we're talking about mental health. The COVID-19 pandemic has also presented unique challenges with a faltering virtual learning environment, lockdowns, illness, and unfortunately death. Burnout can result from prolonged stress, excessive workload, and a lack of self-care. So teachers and principals have to prioritize self-care. And that includes setting boundaries between work and personal life. Ensure that there is time for relaxation, hobbies, and spending time with loved ones. That's another salient point to take away from this convention. Ensure there is time for relaxation, hobbies, and spending time with loved ones. School administrators and colleagues should create a supportive environment where teachers can openly discuss their challenges. And let us help our teachers to manage their workload efficiently by setting realistic goals and prioritizing tasks. We know about time management. We've all been to talks, we've heard lectures ad nauseum about time management, but it's sometimes difficult in practice. But we know that that reduces stress. And it's important to foster a sense of collaboration and teamwork among teachers by sharing the load and brainstorming solutions to ease that burden. The ministry and the Presbyterian board must offer opportunities for professional development and training to help our teachers to remain engaged and inspired. It happens to doctors too. A stagnant career is something that's going to contribute to burnout. Acknowledge and celebrate our students' achievements and the achievements of our teachers, our schools, our principals, because positive reinforcement boosts self-esteem and motivation. Wellness programs in schools promote physical and mental health. How many of our schools have programs like these on a regular basis? Wellness programs, stress management workshops, mindfulness sessions, and access to counseling services, all essential tools in the armamentarium to ensuring there is a boost to mental health. Incorporate stress management techniques as part of your curriculum at all levels of education, it's not just primary school, such as mindfulness, deep breathing, something like yoga. Let us ensure access to mental health services within the school without that stigma. As counselors and psychologists, we know that we've heard that they are available, but maybe in practice, not so readily accessible. And this requires a proactive approach to create a supportive and healthy learning environment. Perhaps the greatest of all teachers was Jesus. I think you all would agree with that. Because he had such a diverse array of styles and strategies. We could talk about teaching. You could read the best self-management books that are available around the world, freely accessible on the internet. But turn back to the Gospels. Jesus gave a masterclass in teaching. He was called teacher by Nicodemus. He was called teacher by the disciples. He was called teacher by the scribes and Pharisees. He was called teacher more than 70 times in the Bible. As far as going to say that he was rabbi, which is like the best of leaders. He was the highest of the Jewish leaders. He was the best of teachers in that time. He was able to connect by the simplicity and beauty of parables, by understanding people. If you want to learn how to make every mind matters, revise those Gospels and get an example from the best teacher in history. I'm just going to recommend some of those solutions. We can introduce our students, as we mentioned, to simple mindfulness activities. You can start with a few deep breaths or quick meditation session because you're helping children to become aware of feelings and emotions. Some people actually have started at the primary schools in Trinidad a feelings chart in the classroom. So you can encourage children to tell you how they feel every day. Put a sticker on that chart or a drawing of a smiley face on the chart. How they are feeling on that morning, because it's opening the door. It's breaking down that stigma to discuss emotions. You're actually opening that door to conversations on emotions. Share stories or read books about characters who had to face challenges and emotions, and discuss the stories with students. Role-playing sessions with our students as they practice how to express their feelings and ask for help when needed. Because fostering mental well-being involves encouraging self-care practices. We have to be well. If we want to ensure that every mind matters, every mind in this room has to also matter, to practice self-compassion. Support systems in the form of friends and families and professional help are crucial. But we are the torchbearers to create a supportive school environment. Now we know that mental and physical health are intertwined in a dance that affects every facet of life. Because a healthy body is going to support a healthy mind. And vice versa, a healthy mind supports a healthy body. And it's important for we as educators to prioritize and model this balance for our students. A holistic approach to health means that nurturing one aspect is going to impact on the other. Ensuring that you're eating well, a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, nuts, peas and beans, low fat and low salt. Ensuring that you get enough exercise as teachers and principals. You're running, walking, jogging, biking. Some of you Zumba. And you're trying to maintain that balance. And I'll tell you this, and we heard it earlier, Presbyterian primary schools have always championed physical education programs. And we must continue to do so as we emphasize the importance of healthy eating through balanced diets and hydration. The demands of primary school can be overwhelming. Standardized tests, curricula, and accountability weigh heavily. But we must try to find that balance between academic rigor and nurturing the whole child. So Albert Einstein reminded us that to educate is not only about the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. And as educators, you lead by example. Prioritizing your health sends a powerful message to your students, and integrating health topics into the curriculum will involve parents. So the Diabetes Association has started a quiz for primary school. Get actively involved and promote transformative healthy lifestyles. So in closing, the Every Mind Matters theme encapsulated the essence of our responsibilities as educators in the Presbyterian primary school system. And once more, I say, to empower the whole child. Mental and physical health are at the core of this mission. Let's embrace this responsibility with the enthusiasm and dedication it deserves. Together we can guide the next generation towards greatness, nurturing not just their minds, but their bodies and souls. One of my family's favorite quotes is from Winston Churchill. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Thank you for your commitment to this noble cause as you walk in the footsteps of the greatest of teachers, Jesus. You are the superheroes of the Every Mind Matters world. You are the ones who turn frowns into smiles, mistakes into lessons, and questions into curiosity. May we inspire and empower generations to come. I thank you. Now the word doctor is from the Latin docere. It means to teach. Do you believe that? So I think we have some time as part of the open forum. So I can't say the phone lines are open now. You won't have to mute your television set when you're patched in. But we'd certainly love to hear from you. I think we have time for 1 or 2 questions as part of an open forum. And we are all part of a Presbyterian family. So there's no need to be embarrassed about not just our theme, but any health-related question. The floor is open. And there's a roving microphone if needed. Yes, sir.
Let's not all ask at once, sir. Let's not rush. This is a very good opportunity.
Hi, my voice is big.
We're hearing you loud and clear. Thank you, miss. Go right ahead. So I shut up for your students when you're when.
Can you guide us on one of the breathing exercises can do with the kids?
Thank you very much, and that is an excellent question. A round of applause for Miss. Thank you. Because when we are speaking about something like a breathing and deep breathing and mindfulness in terms of stress relief, it is something that can be inculcated at any age. And a simple one may be to breathe through your nose, hold your breath for 1 or 2 seconds. It may be difficult for younger children, and then exhale through your mouth. So you're breathing in, you're holding your breath, you're thinking positive thoughts. Many of the teachers may say a prayer, and then you breathe out through your mouth. So breathe in and out. Just as you're ready to start reprimanding them, you may want to start that deep breathing. But I will tell you this is not just practiced in Trinidad and Tobago. This has been practiced for centuries. So some of the gurus or the teachers in parts of Asia have actually inculcated this type of simple breathing, this type of breathing technique. There are different forms. People speak about breathing through the tummy, by the abdomen. Now they fill the abdomen with air and then exhale. Some of the gurus would speak about very rapid, short breaths. But I think a simple way perhaps to begin with our students maybe to breathe through the nose in, hold the breath, relax and exhale. Thank you, and that's a fabulous question. Thank you, Miss.
Good morning. Before I go backstage, I have one for you.
Yes, sir.
Doctor.
Thank you. I can't say I will answer, but go right ahead.
I'm very involved in my SBIT team when we do referrals for our students.
Thank you.
And sometimes when you encounter the parents, you wonder, should I be doing this referral thing for the parent or for the child? So, we do not have control over what happens in the home, but very often we realize that children feed off the energies that parents inculcate in their home and how they culture their children. And then we, from the administrative point of view, often wonder how we are going to bridge this gap between parent understanding that their emotion spill over to their students.
Thank you very much for sharing that. And I think that as we stand into this new millennium and a very digital world, we have lost that personal touch. Presbyterian principals and educators of another generation would have been so well known and respected in that village. Students would have been mortified. Their parents would have grown up with some of the teachers and the principals. And now, many of the core values of humility, love and respect have been lost. And unfortunately, when we see problematic children, as you rightly mentioned, it often reflects issues in the home. And I think it's a matter of returning to basics. It's a matter of ensuring, as a guardian in your class, as that parent in your class, you are going to try to establish that line of open communication with your parents. Because that's how you're going to understand the situation in the home. That's how you're going to understand the child who is cutting or self-harming. That's how you're going to understand the child who is falling behind, or the child who has been labeled a slow learner, in inverted commas, or the child who may have developmental challenges and difficulties, that communication, if not with a parent, an interested relative, someone else, if that parent has proven to be problematic, because it happens that there may be challenges to sometimes talk to a parent, but it is time for us to get away from perhaps the social media aspect, to spend some more time with interpersonal relationships and establishing that with every child, every parent, every sibling, back to what was a classic Presbyterian way of approaching education. So on that note, thank you very much. Love and blessings. Enjoy the rest of this.
Dr. Teelucksingh, I have one more question for Ms. Phillip.
Certainly, but time has run out.
What advice can you give to teachers to boost resilience despite their daily challenges?
Thank you very much, Madam Principal. And we know that there may be many, especially at the Esperanza's Presbyterian School. So, once more, these may be mental, they may be physical, psychosocial. These problems start mounting, and we all have them. And the truth is, many parents, many teachers are such heroes that they turn off that switch from their personal life. They're having problems at their personal life, and they go to school as true heroes every day to deal with children, to deal with other staff members, to deal with principals, to deal with meetings. And the only respite they have sometimes is to return to a home. It's important to ensure that when you go to your home, that you establish that balance. Whether you're looking after yourself, value your physical activity. I spoke about the importance of exercising, ensuring that you are eating right, you're seeing your doctor, having a chat with your doctor if you're grappling with those mental health challenges. If you have some of those subtle symptoms that we discussed about sleep and appetite or memory and concentration, which some of us maybe have found got exacerbated since COVID-19, have a chat with someone, whether it's a trusted colleague, your religious leader, talk with a friend, a family member. Reach out to someone for help. Because if you are drowning, you have to save yourself first. If there is a problem on a plane, and we've heard this oft-quoted, put on your mask first before helping someone else. So physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, teachers have to ensure that that work-life balance remains. It's difficult when we have dedicated educators with so much love, passion, and academic fervor and vigor. We have requirements. We want to do well at FCA. We want to shine. But that balance has to come from within. And there is something today to look within. Look within each person. Whether you're looking towards your mental health or your physical health, something small, something simple, just changing a diet or perhaps saying that I'm going to start exercising is a sign that you value yourself. You value the changes that you are going to make. So that's the only way that you're going to help your students and your school succeed. That you must look after yourself so that I won't have to. Thank you very much.